Hi, I'm Marshall. I'm the owner of Going Gear and I'm here in our store in Smyrna, Georgia. This is the extended review of the Eagletac TX25C. Alright, so here we are with a couple versions of the Eagletac TX25C. Looks like Eagletech has officially shortened their name to Eagtac. I see that on all the packaging, on all the lights, on all their communications with me, on their website and everything, so I should probably start saying Eagtac in all the videos. So this is the Eagtac TX25C. Very, very cool little light. I really like this thing. This one is actually one of my personal lights that I use. This is the XPL High version, and the reason is this is something you guys have been asking us for years, is what you guys call a pocket thrower, or what a lot of people call a pocket thrower. And when I say that, I mean a compact light that you can put in your pocket that actually has a decent beam distance. Without the extension tube, the XPL High version has a beam distance, ANSI FL1 beam distance of 237 meters. Add on a short little extension tube on there, you get up to 329 meters. So this compact little light can actually give you a really good beam distance, something that hasn't really existed, or there haven't been a lot of examples of it out there. So it's a very cool little light. So I'm excited to talk about this and show you the light and everything. So we're going to go and set this one to the side for just a second. This is the packaging. The lights are exactly the same between the XPL High and the XML2, other than the LEDs themselves. So you have the same packaging, same accessories, same basic features and functions. Some information on here. So you have 580/1050 LED lumens and then 500/930 ANSI lumens. So ANSI lumens are the ones to look at because that's what everybody else is using. So the slash means the different batteries. So for one battery, one CR123, you're going to get 500 lumens. Two CR123s, you're going to get 930 lumens. And that's for the XML2 version. Actually, I had to pull up their website for the ANSI FL1 lumens on the XPL High because I couldn't remember them. So you're at 475 ANSI FL1 lumens on the XPL High for one CR123. One RCR123 will get you 567, and two CR123s will get you 878 lumens. So lower on the lumens, higher on the beam distance. So it's definitely a trade-off, and you'll see the beams on both of them when we go outside to help you decide. So let's open this up, show you what you get on the inside, and as always, you can get the full specs on our site, goinggear.com. So some stuff that you have in here, you've got any opinions or ideas, let us know. So you can let them know if you have any ideas, and then some information about their warranty. You've got a user manual, which I guess I took out earlier, but you've got a user manual, always worth a read, a bunch of good information in there, talks about how to use the light, talks about the operation, some specifications and stuff like that. Here are some accessories. So you have a lanyard. They actually make really nice sturdy lanyards. So their lanyards are great. You got a split ring. You've got spare O-rings if you happen to need those. Here is the light itself in a foam sleeve. So here is the light. Here's the XML2 version, XPL High. You can see they're physically the same, just different LEDs. And then here is the extension tube. So this light can run off of one CR123, one RCR123, or two CR123s. It cannot run off of two RCR123s. The voltage is high. Don't put two in there. And the tube is not wide enough to fit an 18650. You just can use two CR123s if you want to go that route. So we are going to use the extension tube. Actually, I'm going to set it to the side. We are going to use that when we go outside just so I can show you the max potential of this thing. But let me show you the lights a little bit better. Let's take a little bit closer look at the fronts of the lights so we can show you the LEDs. So there is the XML2 LED. There's your XPL High. XML2 has a dome over it. So you've got that dome over it. XPL High does not have that. It actually has a dome, but Cree calls it a flat dome. And what you get is the greatly improved beam distance. So you get the 239 meters with one battery, 329 with two batteries, versus, let me look over at my computer screen again. You're at 177 meters versus 239 meters on one versus two batteries on the XML2. So pretty dramatic increase. You do have that decrease in the lumens, but I personally think it's definitely worthwhile, especially on a smaller light with that smooth reflector and this larger head. I like having the better beam distance, so I go for the XPL High. XML2 is definitely still a good choice, and again, when we go outside, that'll help you decide between the two. So I already have a battery in the XPL High. I'm going to use that to show you the interface. I just have a single CR123 in there. Let me actually put the extension tube on there just so you can see what that looks like. Pull it out. And people ask about the difference between de-domed and domeless. So these are not de-domed because they never had any domes, or they did have the flat dome, but Cree did it. Eagletac didn't do it. So there are some other manufacturers that have been de-doming, actually pulling that dome off of the LED to help get it nice and focused. And Cree saw how or what those LEDs could do and the kind of flashlights they can make, so actually started doing it at the factory. So these are domeless LEDs straight from the Cree factory. They come like that from Cree, the LED manufacturer. So there you go. That's what it looks like with the extension tube on there. And again, I'll have the extension tubes on there when we take them outside because that'll show you the full potential of the light. And I have the battery in this one, so we're going to pull it back over and we are going to take that extension tube off and use it to show you the interface. So the XPL High version has a single CR123 in there. One thing I didn't mention before is that these do have magnetic tail caps, which I find super, super useful. So when you need it, you can attach it to things or pick up batteries or do whatever you want with it. But it has a magnetic tail cap, and you can remove that magnet if you want to. You basically just take the spring out and get some tweezers down in there and pop it out. But it does have a magnetic tail cap, which I find useful for attaching to shelves, and I have a lamp over there that has 6 flashlights attached to it, so you can attach them all over your house. Magnetic tail cap is definitely a useful thing. You also have a really sturdy pocket clip on here, so it's actually attached by screws, so it's really strong, nice and sturdy. You got some good retention on there, and you can take it off, of course, if you don't want it on there. Everything is controlled by the side switch. There's no head twisting on this one, so if you twist the head, you can see it actually turns the light off because you're breaking the connection. So it's nice to actually have a mechanical lockout in there. So if you're storing the light for long periods, you can loosen the tail cap and you don't have to worry about accidental activation. But we're going to keep it tightened on there so I can show you how the light actually works. So press that switch, it'll turn the light on. Press and hold, it'll cycle through your different outputs. You see you got a bunch of different outputs that you can choose from. You also have a flashing mode in there. There's no strobe or SOS or anything like that, but you do have a beacon flashing mode. So if you have it turned on and then you press and hold, they say for 10 seconds. So we're just going to keep on holding it and let it cycle through all the different outputs and do. There you go. It's going to start flashing, kind of a beacon locator flashing, and that's it for flashing mode. So there's no strobe, no SOS, not a whole bunch of flashing modes like you get with most Eagletac lights. Nice and simple, nice simple interface. One thing to note, when you first turn it on, if you just do that single press, the quick press and not the press and hold, it's going to always go into the lowest output. So from off, you can get to the lowest output, the highest output, and then you can do the press and hold to cycle through, get your other ones really quickly as well. You also have a battery indicator built in. So when you first change modes or turn the light on, you're going to see the switch flash. And let's pull over the user manual. So we've got less than 30% capacity. You've got 1 flash, 2 flashes is 30 to 65, 3 flashes is greater than 65. And another note on here, energy saving feature. This is super, super common. We get this question a lot, is why does my output drop? Well, these things can get pretty hot. You've got a lot of output going in or coming out of these small lights. They get hot pretty quickly, and to keep from damaging the LED and the circuitry and everything, it'll drop the output just so there's not too much heat buildup. And you can see it'll drop by 25% after 200 seconds on the maximum output. So every light that I've ever seen, you just have to worry about that on the max output. Every other output is fine. Again, you got the magnetized tail cap, and then you got the extender tube if you want to use that. So it's a little bit of a trade-off. You get the longer battery tube. It still slides into your pocket pretty easily, but you get the increased output, you get the increased throw, you get the increased runtime. Trade-off, it's up to you whether you prefer that or not. All right, so let's go over the interface again real quick. So when you first turn it on, it's going to go into the low output. Press and hold from off, it'll go into the highest output. And then while it's turned on, press and hold, it'll cycle through your other outputs. And then do the press and hold for 10 seconds. And you got that 1.5 hertz blinking mode. Okay, so that's the interface and everything of the Eagtac TX25C. We're going to take both versions outside and we'll show you how they do outside. Alright, I'm outside with the two TX25Cs. I have the extension tubes on both. I have 2 CR123s in both, since that's going to give you the max output, max distance. I also have the 4D mag light that I always use as a control. Let's go ahead and give that a try first. Alright. Tree right there is about 30 feet away. Dockhouse down there on the lake is 100 feet away. That's the mag light.
Alright, let's try out the TX25Cs. So we're going to do XML2 first. So this is going to be the more spread out beam, but you can see you still get some pretty decent distance out of it. 30 feet, 100 feet, and you'll see in a little while that it can do further than this, no problem. But 100 feet away, that dock house down there on the lake is everything's lit up really, really well. Light parts of it, dark parts of it, all of it's lit up. You can see down there very, very clearly. And you've got a nice wide usable spill. So you got that bright part in the center, the hot spot, and then you got the very usable spill as well. Let me actually show you the other outputs. We'll cycle through those. The low is great for up close kind of stuff and really good battery life. But actually, to my eyes, it makes it out to the dock house not too bad. And 30 feet away, you can kind of see on the viewfinder, or on the screen, hopefully I can sort of see it on my viewfinder. It makes it out to 30 feet. Not too bad either. Alright, let's try out the XPL high. More focused beam, and you'll see this even better when we go out to a longer distance. But you can see it pretty well now how very focused it is. So you're not going to light up a huge area with that hot spot, but you can see the part it is lighting up, it's lighting up extremely well. So we'll zoom in. You can see lit up even better than that XML2. Everything's just that much more well lit up. Let me show you the other outputs real quick. And on the low, you can see a little bit better 30 feet away. It does really well, and I can actually see the lighter parts of the dock house with just the low. You know, not a whole lot of lumens. And of course, when you need it, you can crank it up to the higher outputs. All right, let's do them side by side. So we'll have the XPL high over here on the left, and then the XML2 on the right. I'm just quickly cycling back and forth. So that pretty well illustrates the difference in the beam, how much more concentrated the XPL high is. And again, you'll see it even better here in just a second. Alright, so let's go out to a longer distance. You'll see what these can do at a longer distance. Alright, got some more space to try out those Eagletacs. Let's go ahead and try out the XML2 first again. Boat right there is about 20 feet away. Got a couple targets set up out there. First one on the right is about 50 yards. One on the left is 100 yards. Tree line beyond is 130 yards. This compact little light makes it out to all of that really, really well. Let me show you the lower outputs just so you can see what those look like. You can see even the lower outputs give you some pretty solid throw. Okay, let's try out the XPL high. There's the XPL high. You got that more focused beam. You got the better distance. Let's zoom in on those targets. 50 yards, 100 yards, 130 yards. All that is lit up really, really well. This one and the other one can do much further than this. So 130 yards out there. You can see this compact little light can make it out to all of that. Even better than the XML2. We'll cycle through the other outputs just so you can see what those look like. They did a fantastic job on these lights. I like the side switch. I like the interface. The throw on the XPL high is really impressive for such a small light. I like these lights a lot. So there you go. That is the Eagletec TX25C. If you like them, you can buy them from us at goinggear.com. Any questions or comments, you can reach me in the comments or any of my guys at goinggear.com. If you like the video, please subscribe. Do a lot of gear and flashlight videos. As always, get going and start something. Thanks for watching.